This is Iain McGilChrist, okay? And Iain McGilChrist is an important philosopher who I want to praise and say that I am his ally as well. And what's particularly meaningful in McGilChrist's work is just there's so many points of his philosophy that are standard features of integral philosophy and process philosophy, and he writes beautifully, and he really brings these out. And when McGilChrist's book came out, it was reviewed by Rowan Williams, the former Archbishop of Canterbury, in the Los Angeles Times Review of Books, and he's getting some good traction there. And so I'm really glad to see his philosophy, even though I wouldn't exactly call him a developmentalist, but I'm glad to see that here is a spiritual philosophy that's intellectually rigorous, that deals with many important topics which are near and dear to my heart, including panentheism, panpsychism, kenosis theology, right? These are all technical terms. We can talk about those in a minute if you want. But again, I'm very close to McGilChrist and applaud his work. The only critique I will offer respectfully in this moment is to say that, as one reviewer put it, it's a kind of reductionistic critique of reductionism. The idea that all of the matter with things, right, the matter with modernist consciousness, the matter with physicalism, is that it's very left brain, and the left brain is good for focusing on details, but the right brain is way more important for the future of humanity. And that his prescription for development is basically to change from a left brain dominated way of thinking as a society to a right brain dominant way of thinking. And I mean, that's fine as far as it goes, but it doesn't take into account the role of modernist consciousness as a worldview that's particularly agentic and individualistic. It's not just the left brain. We can't just reduce it to neurology. And I could also say that it's going to take a lot more than just shifting our focus by admonishing us to be more right-brained. The evolution of the noosphere is far more detailed than that, and we need a more detailed description, and that requires we look at how society has changed in the past, which means we recognize worldviews, we recognize the evolution of consciousness, we recognize noosphere evolution overall, and McGilChrist does all of those things to a degree, but not to the degree that I would humbly like to see. Nevertheless, I recommend that book. Check it out if you have a chance. It's published by Perspectiva, which is integrally adjacent as a think tank in London. And so your money goes to help Perspectiva, which could be good.